Outside of the geographic view of the report, we also look at what's going on in the e-crime space, which doesn't necessarily get impacted by geopolitical events, but things like the changeover of credit card technology here in the United States has a profound impact on what e-crime actors are going to be doing.
So I definitely think in the coming year we're going to see a strong decline in the amount of point-of-sale malware that is seen used in these large-scale breaches. We saw Target and Home Depot have massive amounts of credit card numbers exfiltrated. And switching to the new chip and pin technology, it's definitely going to impact the adversary's ability to use that type of malware in order to extract this large amount of data as they have in the past.
I think in the e-crime space, we're seeing a few things. We're seeing a constantly evolving cybercrime ecosystem, which really isn't anything new. Cybercriminals are often developing their tools as defenders continue to up their game. But one thing I think that is interesting that we've seen happen in 2015 was the rise of these extortion-based actors.
So the crypto locker and the generic ransomware is becoming a massive problem for a lot of companies and a lot of individuals. There have been law enforcement agencies that have been hit by these pieces of malware and have actually had to pay in order to get their records back, and it's been incredibly detrimental to those organizations.
An interesting trend that we've been tracking in 2015 for e-crime is the leverage of extortion-based distributed denial of service attacks. A lot of these attacks have been carried out by known adversaries such as Paizo Spider and Mimic Spider. These actors will conduct a low-level distributed denial of service attack against an organization generally associated with Bitcoin or financial online services. Following that attack, they will send an email demanding a ransom payment, or they will continue to conduct stronger distributed denial of service attacks.
And it's been interesting because the barrier to entry for a lot of adversaries has declined because of the ability to use amplification attacks without having to use something like a traditional botnet to launch attacks. In the post-2000 years, a lot of DDoS attacks were carried out by sort of traditional zombie armies of computers in which a massive botnet would all be sending traffic against a target that was defined by an adversary. With amplification attacks, we've seen adversaries leveraging vulnerable servers to increase the amount of traffic they're able to send at an intended target. So one packet will turn into n additional packets. And we've seen this actually used by adversaries recently in this past year for a more fraudulent extortion type activity in which they are threatening companies with large-scale attacks if they're not willing to pay 10 to 20 Bitcoin, which translates into tens of thousands of dollars at times.
And then we've seen multiple copycat actors come in after that, which suggests that both that the threat is effective, it's an effective way for cybercriminals to make money, and that we're going to continue to see more actors most likely get involved in that type of activity, even continuing into 2016.